Have you ever woken up in the morning and felt like your body was betraying you? You reach for the edge of the bed, but your knees feel stiff, your fingers ache, and every step feels like a reminder that aging sometimes comes with unwanted pain. Now, let me ask you a shocking question. What if the secret to easing that pain wasn't some expensive new drug or risky surgery, but something so simple, so overlooked, that it might already be sitting on your kitchen counter? What if the answer to years of arthritis, pain, and aching joints came down to one essential vitamin that most of us never give enough credit to? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share could completely change the way you think about joint health. Arthritis is not just about pain, it's about freedom. It's about whether you can bend down to play with your grandkids, whether you can enjoy that Sunday walk without fear of your knees giving out, whether you can open a jar without your fingers screaming in protest. For so many people over 50, arthritis feels like a thief, slowly stealing independence and joy. And while there are countless medications and treatments out there, today I want to take you on a journey into the natural side of healing, focusing on one vitamin that science has repeatedly shown to be a game changer: vitamin D. Yes, you heard me right, the sunshine vitamin. Simple, powerful, and often ignored. Vitamin D might be the key to unlocking better mobility and less pain as we age. But before we dive deep, let me pause for a moment. Have you ever gone to your doctor with joint pain, only to be given another prescription, another pill, another temporary solution? I've spoken to so many people who felt trapped in that cycle. Pills helped for a few hours, but the pain always returned, sometimes even worse. The truth is, masking pain is not the same as healing the body. What we want is not just a break from discomfort. We want real joint health, lasting mobility, and a body that feels alive again. That's where vitamins and nutrients come into play. They work at the root, feeding your bones, protecting your cartilage, calming inflammation, and supporting the very structure that allows you to move with freedom. And among them, vitamin D stands at the top. Here's why. Vitamin D is not just about strong bones. It is deeply connected to our immune system, to inflammation, and to how our body repairs itself. Research has shown that people with low vitamin D levels are more likely to suffer from arthritis pain, especially osteoarthritis, the kind that makes knees and hips stiff with age. Think of vitamin D like oil for your joints. It doesn't just strengthen bones, it reduces the friction of inflammation. Without enough of it, your joints wear down faster, and pain becomes a daily companion. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but I already spend time in the sun, so I must be fine. Here's the catch. As we age, our body loses efficiency in making vitamin D from sunlight. That means that even if you live in a sunny state, you might still be deficient. Add to that the fact that many of us avoid the sun to protect our skin, and it becomes clear why vitamin D deficiency is so common among people over 50. Studies have found that more than 40% of older adults have low vitamin D, and that lack directly fuels joint pain and arthritis progression. Isn't it ironic that something so easy to prevent is often the missing link in our health puzzle? But vitamin D is only part of the story. Imagine building a house. Vitamin D is like the foundation, but to build strong walls, you need bricks. For your joints, those bricks come in the form of vitamin K2. Together, vitamin D and K2 create a partnership that directs calcium to the right places, into your bones, where it belongs, instead of into your arteries or soft tissues. Without this balance, you risk brittle bones, or worse, calcium deposits that can cause stiffness instead of relief. That's why when we talk about the best vitamin for arthritis and joint health, we can't just stop at vitamin D alone. Must also highlight the crucial role of vitamin K2. Let me share a story. A woman named Linda, in her early 60s, once told me she had stopped gardening because her knees hurt too much. She felt defeated, as if her active days were behind her. Her doctor suggested joint replacement surgery, but she wasn't ready to give up on her body yet. After learning about the link between vitamin D, K2, and arthritis, she began supplementing consistently. Alongside light stretching and a more balanced diet, within months, she felt not just improvement, but hope. Pain didn't vanish overnight, but it became manageable. She started gardening again, finding joy in small movements you once thought impossible. That's the power of nourishing your body instead of simply numbing it. Science backs this up. Studies published in journals like Arthritis Research and Therapy show that vitamin D deficiency correlates with higher joint pain and faster cartilage loss. Other research reveals that supplementing with vitamin D improves mobility, decreases stiffness, and reduces inflammation markers in people with arthritis. And when paired with vitamin K2, the effect becomes even stronger. These are not miracles. They are the natural results of giving your body the raw materials it desperately needs. But here's where personal experience comes in. I've noticed that people who take vitamin D often report not just less joint pain, but also better mood, improved energy, and even stronger immunity. That's because vitamin D is not just for the bones. It's a whole body vitamin. And when your whole body feels nourished, your joints get the relief they've been crying out for. Now let's talk practical advice, because knowledge means nothing if you don't know how to use it. For most adults over 50, a safe daily dose of vitamin D ranges between 1,000 and 2,000 IU, though some doctors recommend more if blood tests show deficiency. The best way to know your exact needs is to ask your doctor for a simple vitamin D blood test. For vitamin K2, around 100 micrograms daily is a common guideline. You can find them in supplements that combine both, which makes it easier. And don't forget food sources. Fatty fish, like salmon, egg yolks, and fortified milk provide vitamin D, while K2 is found in fermented foods like natto and certain cheeses. Of course, supplements alone are not the whole answer. Movement is critical. When your joints hurt, the temptation is to sit still, but stillness is the enemy of joint health. Gentle activities like walking, swimming, or yoga help circulate nutrients into your joints and keep them flexible. Pair that with anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, turmeric, and omega-3 south, and you create a lifestyle that fights arthritis on every level. Now let me pause and ask you directly, have you tried using vitamins as part of your joint health journey? Did you notice a difference? Share your story in the comments because your experience might inspire someone else who feels stuck in pain right now. And if you're finding this information helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. This channel is all about helping people over 50 reclaim their health, one small step at a time. Back to the story. One of the most surprising things about vitamin D is how it influences inflammation. Arthritis is, at its core, inflammation of the joints. Vitamin D helps regulate the immune system, calming down the overreaction that causes swelling and pain. Imagine your immune system as a fire alarm. Sometimes it goes off too often, even when there's no fire. Vitamin D helps reset that alarm so your joints aren't constantly under attack. That means less swelling, less pain, and more mobility. Doesn't that sound like something worth paying attention to? And here's a twist you might not expect. Some researchers believe that vitamin D deficiency may actually trigger autoimmune forms of arthritis, like rheumatoid arthritis. That means vitamin D isn't just about treating pain. It might play a role in preventing arthritis from developing or worsening in the first place. Think about that. Something as simple as maintaining healthy vitamin D levels could mean the difference between years of struggle and years of freedom. That is not small, it is life-changing. But let me be clear. I'm not here to tell you that vitamin D and K2 are magic bullets. Healing is always a combination of things: nutrition, movement, mindset, sometimes medical treatments too. But I am here to say this. If you've been ignoring vitamins, you've been ignoring one of the simplest, most powerful tools for joint health available to you. And the best part doesn't come with the long list of side effects that so many prescription drugs carry. So here's what I want you to do. If you're over 50 and living with arthritis pain, ask yourself, have I had my vitamin D levels checked recently? Am I giving my body what it needs to thrive? If not, let this be your wake-up call. Start today, not tomorrow. Begin with a conversation with your doctor. Get that simple test, and then take action. Pair vitamin D with K2. Move your body daily. And watch as your joints slowly remember how to be your allies again, instead of your enemies. And let me leave you with this final thought. Pain has a way of convincing us that life is shrinking, that our world is becoming smaller, that joy is slipping away. But it doesn't have to be that way. Every step you take to nourish your body is a step toward reclaiming freedom. Every moment. You invest in your health as an investment in the life you still deserve to live. And sometimes, The biggest changes come from the smallest decisions, like taking a daily vitamin.